Blessings, everyone. Today's spirit nudged to work with the spirit of the animal oracle. Now, in North America, it is wintertime. So there's not always that prevalent connection with all the creatures because the weather's very cold and we have lots of creatures that hibernate and there's plenty that have migrated. So it's not as much of a connection as it is throughout the warmer months. But Spirit was reminding me today that the medicine that these creatures bring is always with us and always comes into our awareness. Whether it's a direct interaction, if we're seeing a winged one or four-legged, or if they're a creature of the sea or an insect. What they teach us can be applied whether it's the season or not that we're going to interact with them, to honor them in reverence throughout the whole year. And that was a strong reminder I needed. And so, first I would like to say thank you to Source for allowing me to be a medium of light. And I ask the animal and insects and spirit to please step forward and help bring a message for the highest good. Thank you. My first shuffle always honors Source. The second shuffle honors Spirit. And the third shuffle honors Soul. And when I say this, it's the Holy Trinity. It is Source aligning with higher self and spirit and bringing through to the soul. And this is how the messages come through in this, the Holy Trinity of three. And then what I do is I just kind of move the cards around in spirit. Well, either it pops out of the deck, or when it moves, oh, there we go. So that one's come out, and I will take this one. Loon, intuitive. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. And so the message that Spirit is bringing through with this beautiful animal medicine is that so many of us are always hearing and getting these nudges. But it's so very important to know the difference between intuition and guidance. Because a lot of times, all of these animals are there bringing us the medicine and guidance and messages and showing us the way forward. Our guides, our loved ones in spirit, our ancestors, our star family, they're all there, always nudging us. But sometimes it can get convoluted. When we think of intuition, we always go to that, they're saying, the gut feeling. But we have to be in the correct energy, the right space in order to intuit anything. Because we have filters here. And we want the intuition to align with what we're asking always. We always have an intention. And we're always looking for something to align, to lead us to go in the way that we want. Whether it's we really wanted a career, we wanted a certain job, and we've been asking and asking and asking, and we're trying to use our intuition now to weed through the signs. It's telling me this, it's telling me that. But what Spirit is saying is part of this, our way of knowing through our busy life and through the chaos and with the messages is first to become very, very still. In the stillness. Not just silent. Silent is still observing. It's still noticing what is and what is not. Stillness just is. It's not meditation. It has no intention. It's just being. And once we've reset that energy and we've gone into that space of stillness, the intuition is much more clear. And what Spirit is coming through with saying is that we have to go through the reeds, like what the loon is doing. It's navigating its way through. It's very dense when it's in the water there, and there are all these reeds, and it's navigating its way through, and it's maybe searching for prey. It has to use its inner eyesight, its intuition. And what it's going with is all of its senses. It's listening in stillness from that energy space, completely blank, and following the nudge and the guidance with its senses. Intuition always has to resonate in the heart. But we do have other abilities, other heightened awarenesses that we can use in symmetry. It's always processed through the heart with our intuition. Everybody says the gut. But if we go through the heart space, and it's always from a place of love, the decisions will be much clearer for us. It's very, very challenging sometimes to be in a place of stillness and then use our intuition from that gut feeling, because the gut feeling is always questioned. Part of our density here and our human experience is we second guess and we always question the gut feelings. We always want more reassurance. We always want more synchronicities, more signs, more nudges, more clarity. But we have to also remember, what is it that we're asking for? What is it we want to see? What is it we want to know intuitively? And also we have to remember, is that going to take the lesson away if it's something that we have to go through and process? Maybe the intuition is not, it's not going to give us the answer that we're looking for. But maybe the intuition, it can be used to keep us in a good space of stillness, to keep us in a space of clarity as we have to move through something. Intuition isn't going to stop the train wreck. If it's coming, it's coming. And then the intuition is just about knowing that no matter what occurs, that we have that innate ability to heal. So maybe the intuition isn't going to tell us that we're going to have that job that we want. Maybe the intuition isn't going to be 100% telling us whether a relationship is going to be working out or not, because there's something that needs to be explored and learned through the process. But what the intuition will be very powerful and very clear with is that no matter what is occurring through all of it, that we are going to be okay. We intuitively know that no damage can happen to the soul, even if the physical body has experiences that are not the best. But we know that we've made it this far, and intuitively that we'll make it through everything that we've set out to explore here. And also recognizing that we're unique. This is another thing they're reminding me to speak about. What is unique? We all want to stand out. We all want to be different and embrace our crazy, so to speak. What is that? What is unique? So many of us are having synchronicities and we're walking the journey. Our uniqueness is not necessarily something that's going to make us stand out in a crowd. We could blend in very well with everything. What makes us unique is always the perception we have of ourselves. We could see a million faces in a crowd. Of course, we recognize that everybody looks different physically. And when we're listening with our other senses, we can feel energetically that everybody is unique. Yet, we all come from the same source. How can that be? That's always a question we have here. How can we all be one and yet remain unique? And it's just a perception we have of ourselves. Whatever that is that we find that's different within ourselves is always to be celebrated, because we each have that imprint, that piece of the puzzle here that only we have to offer. But what that is for us is part of our journey. And sometimes there's no time frame in when we figure that out either. There's no pressure in that. Yes, we have a purpose. Just knowing that we exist for a reason is the encouragement we need to explore that further. So we don't have to go really out of our way to make sure that we're being unique and different. And yes, we all want to have that one thing that makes us unique when we're working on YouTube and making videos. You have to have things that stand out and so on and so forth. But that's not the true embodiment of the expression of being unique. Embodying the uniqueness is understanding how we use that, not in just a physical way, not in a way to be noticed and recognized, but in the uniqueness of how each piece brings the puzzle together as a whole. That's the unique. And so Spirit is pulling the energy back. They're pulling back the energy, the Loon energy, and just asking that when we connect with our intuition, make sure that we're not connecting with our intuition through a filter, because there are many layers of that. And we will always find the answer we're looking for, they're saying, somewhere that will match what we're trying to achieve. So if we're fixated on a certain job that we want, and we want to believe that that's meant for us, not to use those filters and go out and find all the synchronicities that match up with what we want and then tell ourselves it's meant to be, but to allow the guidance to come and use the intuition in that space to know when we're being guided. We want to believe 100% that we are the beginning and end of all that happens here. And we're telling a story, we're writing our book. We've been doing this for eons. We have lifetimes. This is just part of the grand scheme of things. And so, with the intuition, Spirit is being very clear. Understand that the strongest way to use the intuition is knowing when we're being guided. Not seeking out information, not trying to connect all the puzzle pieces. That's not intuition. That's wishful thinking, and that's using filters. The intuition is that moment that we are very still and we are able to hear the nudge. And then trust comes in. Because sometimes the nudge is going to put us in a place that we didn't expect, or we're way out of our comfort zone. Or it's the complete opposite of what we were asking. We may want to be a nurse, but the intuition, we're hearing the nudge, we're accepting that there is a message coming through, and it's telling us we're not. We're going to paint murals. or we're going to sing in a choir somewhere. We have to be able to trust. Intuition is only as powerful as the trust that we give it. And not to see and hear what we're looking for and what we want to see and hear, but to accept and understand that what's coming through for us is for our highest good. So intuition doesn't really serve us unless we have the trust first. So they've pulled their energy back. I hope this message finds you well. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you. Much love.